Hey everyone! I guess I'm just unusually chatty today because here is video number 3. I wanted to do a video on the first 8 weeks. There's so many changes in the first 8 weeks after surgery. I want to talk a little bit about what I've eaten, some tips I've learned cooking, some recipes I found. I've gotten some questions about, what I like, what I don't like, how do I deal with protein stuff. So here I am, and I'll try and do this as quickly as possible because it's a 10-minute limit, Miss Chatty Chatty. So I got my timer here. Here we go. So you come home from the hospital and you're sucking popsicles and you're sucking soup and maybe a little yogurt, little cottage cheese. I'm sure your nutritionist has given you a list of things that are acceptable, but they're all in the mushy liquid department, and you do eventually move from liquid into mushy food, some people more quickly than others. So always follow the advice of your doctor or nutritionist. But in that early stage, you still have protein goals. They're probably not as critical the first week out of surgery, but they get critical real quick because you don't want to deplete your body, and your body needs protein to heal. So I want to encourage you, if you're in the liquid stage or the mushy food stage, and you're only eating little tiny bits, is to check this out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I ordered this from bariatriceating.com. This is a flavor-free protein powder. You can mix it in your soup. You can mix it in your yogurt. You can mix it in your cottage cheese. You can mix it in your canned tuna. Whatever it is, you can mix it in, and it has no flavor. Also, if you have a problem with protein shakes, this is a good alternative, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so then you go to the mushy food phase. Now, there are different definitions of what that entails, but most people start eating some real food. And when you start eating real food, I found it difficult to cook a lot of things to make them easy to chew and swallow without upsetting my tummy. I found that starting with canned meat makes a huge difference. Canned salmon, canned tuna, canned oysters, canned chicken. It's a lot more moist than cooking with it, and it doesn't involve a whole lot of fuss and bother. So you might try starting with canned meat before you start cooking your meat. However, when you start cooking your meat, then a whole new world starts to open up. Now, I've never had a problem with red meat. I don't eat it often, once or twice a month, but my first real meat was chicken, and I had a hard time with chicken. Red meat, not a problem. I eat it medium rare and take tiny bites and chew, 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 chew. Remember, you cannot over chew. So chew, 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 and you'll be fine. However, chicken I've had some problems with, and I suddenly realized that part of my problem was how I was preparing it. Number one, when I was cooking my chicken post-surgery, I was cooking it as if I were pre-surgery. The size of a quarter. The problem with cooking chicken the size of a quarter is that the outside has to get dry in order to cook the inside. I have found it incredibly helpful that when I am cooking chicken, to chop it into pieces the size I would feed a 2-year-old, which means nothing anymore goes on my plate a whole lot bigger than the size of a pea. That is the bariatric friendly bite size, slightly larger than a pea. Now, this doesn't mean you put 20 peas on your fork. You eat one pea-sized bite at a time. But when I chop my chicken into a pea-sized piece and then cook it, two things happen. One, it cooks very quickly. And two, it doesn't get dried out. So it's much easier to digest and chew and swallow than if I'm working with a larger piece off of which I'm cutting little pieces. Another trick to chicken is sauces. And I would encourage you, I don't know if you have a Trader Joe's in your neighborhood, but most grocery stores, at least the bigger ones, have some sort of different aisles of different ethnic foods. And so check out sauces. Like, for instance, I found a great Indian spinach sauce at Trader Joe's in a jar, like $2.50 or something. I cooked a bunch of little pea-sized pieces of chicken, sauteed a little onion, threw the jar in, stirred it up, done. And the sauce with the little tiny pieces of chicken is much easier to chew and swallow and for your tummy to handle. So check out sauces in your grocery store and watch those size of chicken pieces. Let's see. Okay, so all of us deal with protein shakes, and if you have listened to some of our prior videos, you know that those have been a problem at our house. We kind of started getting sick of them, the smell, the aftertaste. So I have found one of the tricks that have helped me tremendously with protein shakes is fruit and milk. So what I am doing now for breakfast is I am mixing my protein powder with non-fat milk. I'm adding 1 raw egg, and I'm adding a piece of fruit or a half a piece of fruit to my whole scoop of protein powder. So those 4 things go in the blender, and I pulse it till it's smooth. If you have a problem with foam and bubbles, you might have to let it sit for half an hour. But let me tell you, the addition of the milk, the egg, and the fruit covers up the smell, covers up the taste, and makes it much more palatable. So like today, I'm having a cinnamon cappuccino protein, which is actually really good even plain, again from bariatriceating.com. But I added a banana, I added an egg, I added milk. So now I've got over 40 grams of protein for breakfast. I also have additional calories, so you have to be careful. But going from 150 to 300 calories is worth it if I can drink the darn thing. So every day now I have at least 40 grams of protein in my breakfast shake because I have found fruit. So be careful, don't eat too much, because of course it has sugar and it will slow down your weight loss if you eat too much of it, but it's better than not having your protein shakes. Oh boy, 3 minutes to go. I'm going to make this fast. People ask me about protein bars. I do not leave the house without a protein bar. There is a protein bar in my purse 24/7. That way, if I get stuck somewhere or people are eating crap and I'm hungry, not a problem. I just whip into my purse. This is my favorite protein bar. It's like a Payday, only a little less salty. It's got a nougat center rolled in nuts with a slight caramel topping. It has 20 grams of protein and 2 grams of sugar. The only place I have been able to find this is bariatriceating.com. I order it from them. Be careful if you are new to the real food world post-surgery. Nuts can be a little tough on the tummy at first. I cannot eat this for breakfast, but it's great as a meal replacement for either lunch or dinner. At the regular grocery store, we like these. I find these at all over town. I don't have to order them from any place. These are a little higher. They got 14 grams of protein and 15 grams of sugar. So they are a little higher in the sugar department, but they are more accessible than my other favorites. Okay, I got 2 minutes left on the timer. I'm going to talk really fast. The last thing I want to do is show you this. That is a bariatric-friendly, sugar-free peanut butter cheesecake pie. I got the recipe off, guess where? Bariatriceating.com. It is absolutely excellent. We're going to a party tonight for my daughter's birthday. You would never know that it was sugar-free. You would never know that it was bariatric-friendly. Remember, sugar-free does not mean calorie-free, and you have to be careful, because if you get into sugar-free cookies and sugar-free candy and all that crap, you are going to continue to feed any sugar addiction you have. Your brain gets it, okay? If you have a candy bar at 3 o'clock on Monday, your body wants a candy bar at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So I'm not emphasizing desserts. What I'm emphasizing is finding things that make this lifestyle work. There goes my timer. In the 6 times a year that a treat is appropriate, come up with a treat that works for you so that you feel like part of life. I've collected lots of great recipes. Any questions, any tips, give me a buzz. But as you know, there goes the timer. Happy food journey, everyone. Take care. Bye.